All right, everybody. Hello. My name is Dr. Todd Davis. I'm going to be the professor for PER 323. It is 10 o'clock on Monday, May 24th. This is the first day of classes. And I'm going to go over the course review and the modules. And I'm going to be sharing my screen here with you. So the first thing I'd like you to do when you get to your course is to go right to the modules. The modules is the best way to keep track of what you have available and what the schedule is. If you click down on these arrows, you'll see that the course is broken into different modules. The modules are broken into different chapters. Each chapter has a lecture, an overview. You have access to the presentation. There are quizzes for each chapter. You'll also notice that the due dates for the modules are all at the end of the week. However, I'm strongly encouraging you to do the modules daily and to turn in work as early as you can and not to wait until the very last day. Because you'll also notice that your exams are due for that week at the same time. So essentially what I'm allowing you to do is work at your pace, essentially, to get the modules done, and then take the exam for those modules. You'll also notice that each lecture, excuse me, each module has a lecture assigned with them, and I'll go over that in a moment. But inside the modules, you'll see that you have your content, your objectives. I'm encouraging you to read through those and see what those are and how they play into the content of the course. You'll also notice that each chapter has an overview itself and the PowerPoint presentation. The overview essentially gives you why is it not clicking on there? The overview here gives you essentially the summary of the chapter and then particular vocabulary that's going to help you understand key points and key terms in each chapter. So I'm strongly encouraging you that you check that out as well before you read the chapter. The presentations are a PowerPoint presentation. They are viewable on Canvas, or you can also download them here and then use them and write notes and so on and so forth as you wish. There are typically between 3 and 4 chapters per module. There are also quizzes. As you can see, the quizzes align with the chapters. There's a small brief description of what the quiz is. They're typically 10 points and usually have 10 questions. Quizzes are usually made up of multiple choice and true false. And you usually have about 1.5 minutes per question to finish. And then exams. Exams are typically true false, short essay, some essay, fill in the blank. And some of the questions are worth more. So be careful and be cautious of when you do essay questions. The essay questions do count for more points than just simple true, false, and multiple choice. So that is important to know. It is strongly encouraged that you have the textbook for this course. Out of convenience, and for those of you that are ordering, I have given you and copied the chapters 1 and 2 here. It's downloadable, so you can at least get started while your book comes in. If you don't have a textbook and you're not going to get a textbook, then I strongly encourage you to communicate with some of your peers in the class and see if you could borrow or team up and buy a textbook together. If you're having trouble getting a textbook, I also encourage you to reach out to your peers in the class that may have a textbook and see if you could borrow or loan or swap or something with them. But unfortunately, I don't have any access to textbooks, and I certainly, with the summer class, cannot give extensions because a textbook's not ordered. Anyways, again, these are the modules. They're broken into weeks. They're pretty self-explanatory. I will also mention that you do have to finish one module before you can go on to the next one. And that includes the discussion, quizzes, and the exam. Your final is scheduled for June 23rd. It is a comprehensive final. And now I want to go ahead and talk about let's go back and talk really quickly about discussions. So discussions are meant to be sort of an ongoing conversation throughout the week. It's encouraged strongly that you read through the discussions, read the articles, and then develop your discussion. Then throughout the week, go back and read other students' discussions and then provide comments or feedback or, light arguments against or for their discussion. But a discussion is really meant to be sort of, again, an ongoing conversation throughout the week. There is a small rubric below that will be used to grade each rubric, but it is also encouraged that you have peer reviews, at least a minimum of 3. And so that'll also be graded accordingly. Discussion should be anywhere between 3 and 4 paragraphs, a minimum of 250 words, and it just really needs to be some kind of an understood, well thought out, and thorough discussion about whatever the topic is. Most of the topics are articles or recent events, things that we want to relate to recreation and leisure. You'll also notice in your modules that you have a research paper due. Again, this is due at the very end of the semester, but it's really encouraged that you get started early. There are several examples, not only here, but also in your announcement section about what quality research papers look like. And so I would encourage you to, look through these and see what those scores look like and what those examples look like. As far as your discussion, there's a rubric that shows exactly what timeliness is, peer reviews are, and so on and so forth. But there's also a quality and a quality example, and this is an example of what a quality discussion should look like. It goes through how it's been written, what the peer reviews look like, and then also includes outside sources and outside imagery to substantiate your discussion. But going back to the research paper's topics are here. You can choose any one of these people that you see in the list. There are examples that you can download and look at. This one is a very simple research paper that just gives you an idea of how the imagery should be, how things are cited and referenced. Each research paper should have cited references throughout the paper. There's another example here. And again, you can download these and look, but this is again just a really great example of how research papers are written and having the imagery placed in them. I'm also going to mention that it is required that you do have imagery. This is a descriptive essay, so there is images required, and you'll see the images requirement here, 4 to 6 images dispersed through your essay. So this is really the first sort of discussion that we're going to have as a student conference. These conferences are recorded and they are placed in your modules. They will be placed typically right here for each module week. So for some of you that are here joining us live, that's great. If not, you'll see a link right below here that'll show you the recorded link of this conversation. I do see that we have one student here with us. What I'll do at the end of these conferences each week is I'll just sort of open the floor if any one of the students have a question or any comments or if you need anything. So Mr. Dees, do you have any questions that you need answered for the student conference? Must not be here. Okay, anyways, that is the student conference of this week. If you have any questions while you're getting started or you need any assistance, please reach out to me throughout the week. You can make an appointment, we can Zoom, or you can just type your question into the Canvas email and reach out and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So good luck to week 1 and holler if you need anything. Thanks.